Good morning, Seaside. I think that's a copyrighted, patented phrase by Dr. Reverend Christian. Can I use that? Is that okay? Good morning, Seaside. Welcome. Come on in back there. Let's get ready to roll. I'm going to give you some announcements. My name is Steve Dahl, and holding the light for us today is Victoria Wood. Oh, I'm sorry. Or Sharon. Those are notes from the earlier service. It's my first time. I'm learning, okay? The Inside Seaside program, you all get that when you walk in. There's a ton of great information in here. So I'm just going to highlight a few things for you that are really important. Congregant Care presents Seaside Thursdays, Thoughts, Talks, and Tools. So this coming Thursday at 6:30, what is the difference between palliative care and hospice by Caroline Boaz? She does a class called Death Cafe. Have any of you been to that or heard of that? I have. It's not scary. It's actually quite entertaining and informative. It's kind of strange to say death is entertaining, but it is. We have to laugh at it because we're all going there, okay? But it's a great class. You'll really enjoy that. September 3rd, Thursday. Are you ready to feel your best? Learn about integrative medicine to thrive with Merritt Jones. Who here likes to dance? Have any dancers? Oh, good. We've got some dancers. This coming Friday night, August 28th. Dances of Universal Peace with Mary Brenda McQueen at 7 o'clock right here. A $15 love offering is suggested, but come and get those crazy feet going, okay? Do we have any angels in the audience? Oh, we've got a few angels. Guess what? We could use some kitchen angels and some parking angels. Again, the contact information is right there in your program. If you're able to help out, we could use the help. The Community Resource Center, CRC, needs our help. One of the things we do at Seaside is always give back to the community. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about this organization is we practice what we preach. And there's a big can in the back. You can bring your food, and guess what? Does anybody ever shop at Costco? Raise your hands. Oh, yes. You know how you can't get out of that place for under $200 or $300? So what my wife and I have started doing is, as we finish up, we say, let's go buy one case of food that we can drop at Seaside next week. It's a percentage, a tiny percentage of your bill at Costco, and it's a great way to support other people who are really in need right now. And did anybody see that musical called The Spelling Bee here earlier this year, a few of you? That was one of the most amazing performances, professional or amateur, that I've seen. It was a hoot. It was so fun. The same crew, the same cast is coming back in September, so save this date. Godspell is going to be here September 18th. You won't want to miss it. It was a hoot, and it was fun, and you'll be laughing and dancing like crazy. And Carolyn Holder would like to make a couple of announcements about a class coming up. Carolyn? Let me move my beans.
Good morning, Seaside. See, I can do it too. I'm really excited to be here this morning and announce that by popular demand, the class that Reverend Tammy and Reverend Rick and Dr. Shana premiered this summer is back. It's going to be starting a week from Tuesday, September 1st, and will run for 4 Tuesdays. And this work is based on the powerful books of Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he'll take you into the quantum field. He'll explain about how our brain works and how our mind, which is the brain in action, and how to bring it into complete coherence with our body. He also will share with you lots of how-tos. We all, as you'll hear today in Reverend Lori's wonderful message, we all live from the unconscious. 90% of the time we're living on doing habits and patterns that we don't even realize that we're doing. And those things that are habitual that you don't like, maybe a thought that isn't coherent with what you really want to express, a behavior, an emotion, those things that are holding you in the past, he helps you to move through that so that you can step into the quantum field of pure potential. It's really powerful, and I know for me it's really been transformational. So I encourage you to sign up today back at the Education Center. Kay Samuelson and I will be there for answer any questions. The class will be held in the Rose Room. Seating is limited So if you get sign-ups today, you'll guarantee a spot. Thank you.
And one more thing, in case you haven't noticed, I know this for a fact from personal experience. When you take a class or a course or get involved in Seaside, good things happen in your life, absolutely guaranteed. So now, let's all stand up and greet our neighbors. Get this spiritual party started.
Good morning, Seaside. Please remain standing for the congregational song. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour your love in me, pour your love into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Invite the Spirit into your heart, everybody. Sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, shine your light in me, shine your light into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, shine your light in me, shine your light into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Very nice, everybody.
I need some sound check. Here we go. It's so good to see you today. My name is Reverend Lori McMacken, and I am here because of our beloved Dr. Reverend Christian Sorensen is on a most needed and deserved vacation. So I welcome you here today, and I want to say happy birthday to Pauline. It's your birthday today, isn't it? Yay! I want to announce today that we have someone very special. Our most talented Rebecca Jade is up for the second time a San Diego Music Award. Yeah! So we want to support her by going to www.sandiegomusicawards.com and support Rebecca Jade and the Colfax under Best Blues Band. So, yes. And tonight, if you want to see her, you can go to Tuscany Restaurant, and they'll be playing between 6 and 8 o'clock. We have a beautiful service all together for you with a wonderful support team. And right now, I want to call up our practitioner who will be grounding us in spirit, setting the tone, and giving us her light. Patty Christensen, yes.
Good morning. I invite you just to take a breath, sit back, and join me in the stillness. And on this delightful and perfect morning, I know we each come together here today knowing there is one power. There's one divine holy intelligence that runs through the universe, one pattern of perfection that comes in here now today. And I know that I am a divine channel for that power, that joy, that perfection, that beauty to come into the world. And as I know that for me, I know and affirm and accept that for each one here, that each person here is called by divine appointment coming to this day, coming with an open heart, coming ready to receive. And I know today has been joyfully prepared, and I know each word spoken, each word sung, all of the music played, each person who comes here today is blessed and is a blessing. Today is a good and lovely day. I'm so grateful, and we celebrate this time.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. He's so good to
Thank you, Patty, for that lovely invocation, and to Rebecca and Max for grounding us in that beautiful, beautiful music. Good morning, Seaside. I'm Robin Holt. I'm a practitioner and a ministerial intern here at Seaside. And someone did ask me to mention I was born and raised in Sydney, Australia. So when you hear an accent when I read, that's where it's from, so just so that nobody's left wondering, where is that accent from? So that you'll all know. So welcome this morning. It's my great joy and tremendous privilege to be on the platform today with Reverend Laurie McMacken. You're in for a super treat today as she talks on the topic of divine discontent. So just sit back, relax, and allow all of the good that is here in this space this morning just to flow over you, because I guarantee you're going to leave today uplifted and feeling a greater sense of joy. And if you are here for the first time, a very, very special welcome from all of us here at our Seaside family. And we would encourage you to make sure you pick up a welcome package. Looks like this, and up there. And you'll find these on the table in the back of the family room. And inside that package is some gifts from us, a CD from Reverend Christian and a Science of Mind magazine and some discount coupons, so well worth it. As I mentioned to you, Laurie's going to talk today on divine discontent, and the person who coined that phrase was a great spiritual writer of the early 20th century, Emmett Fox. And he wrote a book called Find and Use Your Inner Power, and this is a reading from that book, and it's called Worm Gets Ideas. To me, the butterfly teaches the most wonderful and the most important lesson that we humans ever have to hear. We all know his story. He is a beautiful butterfly now, but he was not always a butterfly. No, indeed. He began life and he lived what seemed to him a very, very long time as a worm. And not a very important kind of worm either. What we call the humble caterpillar. Now, the life of a caterpillar is a sadly restricted one. In fact, it could be taken as the very type and symbol of restriction. He lives on a green leaf in the forest, and that's about all he knows. Then one day, something happens. The little caterpillar finds certain strange stirrings going on within himself. The old green leaf, for some reason, no longer seems sufficient. He begins to feel dissatisfied. He becomes moody and discontented. But, and this is the vital point, it is a divine discontent. He does not just grumble and complain to the other caterpillars saying, nature is all wrong, I hate this life, I can never be anything but a worm, I wish I had never been born. No, he is discontented, but it is a divine discontent. He feels the need for a bigger, finer, and more interesting life. His instinct tells him that where there is true desire, there must be fulfillment, because where there's a will, there's a way. And so the wonderful thing happens. Gradually, the worm disappears and the butterfly emerges, beautiful, graceful, now endowed with wings. And instead of crawling around on a restricted leaf, he soars right above the trees, right above the forest itself, free, unrestricted, free to go where he likes and see the world and bask in the sun, and in fact to be his own true self. The free and wonderful thing that God intended him to be. Now, this wonderful story is intended to be the story of every human soul. It is up to you to develop your wings by the scientific use of creative imagination so that you may fly away to your heart's desire. So let's just close our eyes again and take those words inside to that inner sanctuary where we connect, each one of us, with our own true nature, our own God consciousness. For I know that there is only one power, one presence, one true reality. I call that true reality God, for I know that there is no beginning and no ending, that there is only life eternal, constantly flowing, pouring forth the goodness, the joy, the creative inspiration on which our lives and the life of all sentient beings is based. I know that I am one with that consciousness, for I am a divine spark of God, and I express myself in a unique way, truly allowing myself to pour forth and be all that I can be. And as I know that this is true for me, I know that it is true for each and every beautiful soul present here today. For I know now to listen to the divine discontent within me, for it is God speaking to me. It is God within me, that still small voice saying, grow, learn, expand, be all you were meant to be, Robin. And what a joy it is to live life knowing that for every moment on every day, I get to make choices to be more, to love more, to express my soul's desires truly, deeply, and magnificently. For I am grateful that the truth of my being is unlimited, that my true self is God in expression. And as I connect with others in relationship, I am grateful for the Spirit of God in each and every person, for with them and through them, as we connect, we all grow and develop into the peace and harmony which is our divine birthright. How sweet it is. And so I release these words unto the mind of God, knowing immediately that they are already fulfilled. And I just rest and let go and let God. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning, Seaside. How y'all doing today? It's a beautiful day. So glad to be here. It is my honor, as you all know, to introduce our guest artist, and we have a wonderful person here with us today. You all are going to be hopefully moved by his music. If you are, he does have CDs and books for sale afterwards, so please talk to him. But I wanted to share a little bit about him with you before he sings for you today. He's a gifted Broadway actor and dynamic speaker who inspires audiences around the world with his messages of healing, empowerment, and freedom. He has starred in some of the most celebrated and spectacular shows in American theater history, such as Smokey Joe's Cafe, Jesus Christ Superstar, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, and The Lion King. He addresses organizations around the world, including TED Talks, Berkeley, my alma mater, woohoo, go Bears, and Nashville, NCORE, National Conference on Race and Ethnicity, Rikers Island Correctional Facility, Facing History and Ourselves, and numerous universities and churches, and he's an alumni and spokesperson on behalf of Boys and Girls Club of America. If anybody's interested, also, next year, he's hosting a men's conference, 2016, underlying healing, forgiveness, compassion, and the true essence of who we are. I'm sure he can give you more information afterward, and he has a website, finding-yourvoice.com. So if you have any questions, once again, please see him afterward. But in the meantime, I hope you're moved by his music. Please help me welcome Charles Holt.
Good morning. It's good to be back. Thank you. It's been over a year. Can you believe that? This first song is one of my favorite songs. It's a Broadway tune from the Broadway musical company. It's called Being Alive. Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive, being alive. Somebody need me too much. Somebody know me too well. Somebody pull me up short and put me through hell and give me support for being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mark me not alive. Somebody crowd me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody let me come through. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being
All right. Yeah. Woo. Wow, being alive. That was powerful. Thank you. So inspirational. I also want to thank Robin Holt. Thank you. That was a beautiful story. Give her a big hand. What a beautiful story, a beautiful prayer. She's going to be amazing, amazing minister. I'm truly excited. Matter of fact, her first talk will be at the day before Thanksgiving. So make sure you support her on a Wednesday night. Oh, wow. I feel alive today. Yes, so divine discontent. Restlessness is discontent. And discontent is a necessity when you want to have progress in your life. Show me a man that is thoroughly satisfied, and I will show you a failure. Yes, Thomas Edison. I didn't make that up. Get that straight. So divine discontent is really who you are. It is your soul's journey. Ernest Holmes quotes that we are continually consciousness spiraling into eternality. We're never born, and we never die. We are that essence of spirit. We are always expanding. We are always growing, and we are always becoming more of ourselves. And when we have this divine discontent, sometimes it is uncomfortable. It feels irritating. It's not comfortable with who we are. And what used to feel comfortable all of a sudden feels uncomfortable. It's like we want to grow, we want to expand. We are in a really comfortable pair of jeans and they no longer fit us anymore. We need to get a new pair of jeans. Or perhaps when a mother, right before she gives birth, she's extremely uncomfortable and then a miracle occurs. So what I do know that after you feel this feeling of divine discontent, there is a positive outcome that's always happening. A great example of divine discontent is if someone gets fired from their job. And in hindsight, they look back and they'll say, oh, gosh, I was just so unfulfilled, and I really wasn't happy, and I wasn't making enough money, and there wasn't any room for me for growth, and they really didn't appreciate me, and all of a sudden I was fired because the universe is just going to push you to your greatness no matter what. So you're fired, you feel a little humility coming on, but then you get a new job. And you're happy, and it's positive, and you're making more money, and you love the people you're around, and you're being creative. It's everything you can possibly imagine, but you never thought it would go in that direction because in the time, it felt terrible. And this is divine discontent. In the Jewish mystical writing called the Talmud, it quotes that there is an angel standing over every single blade of grass, and it's saying, grow, 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 and it's edging it and urging it to grow. And this blade of grass will break through cement in order to come into the light. And that's exactly what it is for you. When there's something within you that's talking to you and it's asking you to evolve and to grow and to be more of who you are, there is something that's pushing you directly into the light. Now, you have a choice because you have free will and choice. You can decide not to experience divine discontent. You can stay exactly where you are and not change. Or you can move forward in life. There's a story about a young boy that goes fishing. And he was on the stream, and before he threw his line into the stream, he saw a fisherman. And it was an older man, and he was catching fish right and left, but he was throwing the big fish back into the stream. So he goes over and he talks to him, and he said, "Sir, I noticed that you're throwing all the big fish back into the stream." And he said, "Yes, I take the fish, I measure it with my measuring stick. If it's bigger than my stick, it's not going to fit my frying pan." Right? And this is what happens to us. We receive these divine ideas that come to us. And when they come to us, they're not for somebody else. They're for us, because it's our unique personality, it's our unique talents. It's something that we need to evolve and expand to. And sometimes we just need to get a bigger frying pan, right? It is a calling, and it's adhering to that calling. And if we don't move into that calling, what happens is we become dissatisfied with our lives. You know, this is my favorite story of divine discontent. I think it will always be my favorite story of divine discontent. It's a story about a girl named Tararai Trent, and she was born in 1965 in Zimbabwe, in unspeakable living conditions where they had no running water and they didn't have any electricity. And she had this urge within her when she was a very young girl to learn how to read and to learn how to write. But in her country, women were not allowed to read and write. The women were only there to bread. But the men were allowed to go to school. So her brother would go to school, and she would take his homework, and she would run off into the woods, and she taught herself how to read and write. Well, soon enough, the teacher found out about it, and she went over to her father's house and begged him to let her go to school. And he let her go to school, but only for 2 semesters, because it was a tradition in her country that young women were married. He married her off at the age of 11 in exchange for a cow. And babies have babies in her country. By the time she was 18 years old, she had 3 children. And she would tell her husband her deep desires, that she wanted to learn how to read, and she wanted to learn how to write, and she wanted to be educated. And what he'd do is he would beat her to try to keep her down. So one day there was a man from Heifer International that came to her village. His name was Joe Luck, and he had a sacred circle with all the women. And he asked all the women to state your name and tell us your biggest dream that you have inside you. And she said, "My name is Tararai Trent, and I want to go to America, and I want to be educated." And he looked at her and he said, "If that's your dream, that is achievable." She was so excited because no one ever told her that this was a possibility. She actually ran over to her mother's house, and she told her mom that she met Joe Luck from Heifer International, and he said that this was achievable. And she said, "Honey, if you have these dreams, you just write them down on a piece of paper, you fold it up, you put it into a tin can, and you bury it deep in the ground, and then your dreams will grow." Well, 2 years later, and 2 children later, Heifer International shipped her and her 5 children and her husband to the United States so she can become educated. 3 years later, one of her first dreams was met, where she received a bachelor's degree. Her husband continued to beat her, and the United States exported him back to Zimbabwe, right? Yes. Yes! Yeah. 3 years later, she received her second dream, and she received her master's degree. And then 3 years later, they were calling her Dr. Tararai Trent. For I saw her on the Oprah Winfrey Show, one of Oprah's daytime television shows, her last shows, and Tararai was one of her favorite people. And Tararai stood there and she said, "I thought this dream was for me. I thought it was a divine discontent that was bubbling up within me. But now that it's done and over with, I realized it had nothing to do with me. This was for the evolution of my country. This was to change the blindness of illiteracy in Zimbabwe. This was for me to bring education to the women and the children of my country." And she was selling these T-shirts so she can build schools. And of course, generous Oprah gave her a check for $1.5 million. And this is divine discontent. When you have a divine discontent, it's not all about you. You think it is because you are the vehicle for the expression of Spirit to work through you. But when you allow the expression to work through you and you break through that cement like that piece of grass, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And the light is big light. It is universal light. It is good for all people around you. And see, divine discontent is a desire that we have within us, and the desire for growth is not only within the people, but it's also within nature. It's also with animals. We see the grass growing all the time. We have our gardeners, and the animals are always growing, and the trees are always growing, apple trees. And there's a desire, such as a desire within a chick. Well, if a chick is in an egg, it feels really comfortable in the egg, right? Then it starts to grow, and then it's getting a little uncomfortable in the egg, and it wants a bigger egg. And all of a sudden, the egg cracks open, and it moves into the light. There's a whole new universe that's waiting for it. And this is how it happens with you, that when you break through, you come into the light, and you become part of the universal good. But desire means D-E, sire, right? Desire, of the God, of the Father. As within, so without, as above, so below, that I am one with God. For you are one with that divine spirit within you. You are expressing your divine self. You are expanding and you are growing into your divinity of who and what you're supposed to be. But in order to do that, we have to ask ourselves some tough questions. We have to be honest with ourselves, and it's hard to be honest with ourselves sometimes, because sometimes we're afraid to grow. We're afraid to get out of what feels comfortable, out of that little egg, and to break the shell. So I'm going to give you some questions to ask yourself. Marvin, could you please put up the first slide? The first slide is, what would it take for me to be perfectly happy? And this is a great question that you can always ask yourself when you're in a form of contemplation. What would it take in every area of my life? You want to scan your life, and you don't want to put any boundaries on yourself. You want to have infinite, unlimited potentiality, okay? What would it take in the area of my health for me to be perfectly happy? What would it take in the area of my relationships to be perfectly happy? What would it take in the area of my finances to be perfectly happy? Do you want to travel the world? Maybe you want to travel. How about in the material world? I mean, this is a material world, so we are here to enjoy our material things. And you are unlimited because you live in that unlimited supply that is in the invisible presence of the universe, that it can always move into your life when you claim it and when you demand it. So this is an important question. Where is my divine discontent, and what would it take for me to be perfectly happy? Now remember, you're never a finished product, right? You're always an evolving product. You're perfect right as you are right here, right now. And the only way we can start is where we're at right now. We don't have to be over there or back there. We have to be right here, and we have to evolve in our personal evolution. Marvin, please, a second slide. We call him Marvelous Marvin, by the way. In what situation in my life am I feeling discontent? And this is a really important question when you go to bed at night. Think about your day. Start from the morning and then move into the night. Where is there a moment in your life during the day that you felt disconnected? Did you feel like you needed expansion? Do you feel like you need to evolve more, and to be more, and to have more, and to do more in your life? And these are all healthy qualities of who we are. We always want more expansion. We always want to be more and do more and evolve more in consciousness. Is it in your spiritual world? Is it in your financial world, your family? And just keeping that in the forefront of your consciousness so you can evolve. And the next slide. In looking over my life, where and when have I been the happiest? This is a very good question to ask yourself so you can have a model. You want to model your life after. So take your life right here and right now, and then take it all the way back to the beginning and go through it and say, where in my life did I feel like tapped in? Where did I feel like I was just who I was supposed to be? I came here to be who I was supposed to be. And I remember a time about maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I remember this feeling where, of course, I was doing a job and I was using my creative energy and I was making lots of money. And I loved that, but it wasn't only that, because I also had a business that I owned, and I was using my creative energy and I was making lots of money. And I liked that too, but it wasn't all that either. I also was doing a lot of service work, and I love doing service work, and I was using my creative energy. I was working with Big Brother, Big Sister. I was working in the abused shelters and the homeless shelters. I was developing charity activities, and I was using my creative energy. So I know for myself, and not everyone's different, that I have to use my creative energy, and I have to feel tapped into what I'm doing. So think of it could be more family life or more left brain work, whatever it is that is your individualized divine expression. And once you have that in your mind, you have that model, say, you know what, I'm not who I was yesterday, but I can model this balance in my life. Thank you, Marvin. In the book, according to St. Thomas, which is the lost book in the Bible, it quotes that if you bring forth that which was in you, what you bring forth will save you. And if you don't bring forth that which was in you, what you don't bring forth will destroy you. Mm-hmm. Did you know statistically that 1/3 of all Americans are unhappy? They're dissatisfied. Do you know what? That is 100 million people. That's a lot of people in our world who are dissatisfied. Now, you're a religious scientist, and you know better, right? Because you know the mental science that we are evolution, and we are always evolving and growing and expanding. But that means there's people who are not divine discontent. They're discontent because they're afraid. They're afraid to move forward. It's easy. You're afraid you're going to upset the apple cart. You're going to upset the people around you. You don't think you're enough. But most important, I believe the reason why a lot of people don't move forward is because the subconscious mind runs our life. 90% of our mind is ran by our subconscious mind. So we are habitual creatures. So it doesn't feel good to move forward. So why do I move forward when I feel good in my little egg and I know I never have to grow? Albert Einstein, he quotes that in order to solve a problem, you can't solve it at the level that you met it. You have to go above the level. And when you go above the level, you go into the land of solutions, is what he calls it. And the land of solutions is when you sit and you meditate and you allow the divine spirit to come through you. And what he would do is he would hold a rock, and he would sit in a rocking chair, and he would ask an empowering question, like, what is the next step for my evolution? And he would ask this empowering question, and if the rock dropped, it means that he fell asleep. And if he fell asleep, he wanted to become consciously aware. Now, it's normal to fall asleep in meditation because when you fall asleep, it means that your subconscious mind does not want you to grow. It wants you to stay exactly where you are in your present paradigm. Matter of fact, I'll be sitting in my meditation room, and my love, Scott, is laughing right now, I can tell. He'd come in, and I go, oh, I was meditating. He's like, I didn't know snoring was meditating, you know? So, but that is normal because my subconscious mind doesn't want me to grow, and it doesn't want me to expand, but I have to be conscious of it. So now I want a rocking chair for Christmas, Scotty, and a rock. You see, our mind thinks like a computer, right? In the desktop of our computer is our conscious mind, and that is consciously what is in front of our mind. What are we thinking in the moment? And then the hard drive and all the files is our subconscious mind, and that's basically what runs a computer. And then you have the superconscious mind, right? And that is the internet. Now, you can go to the internet and you can find out any piece of information these days. You don't even have to go to the library. Whatever you want to do, whatever your heart needs to be fulfilled, you can figure out 3 steps to make a cake. And I learned how to boil a lobster the other day on the internet. It's so much fun just to go on there and in a lickety-split second, you have all this information. But when you go on to the universal internet, your personal internet, and you can go in there for 20 minutes, your plan, your divine plan, becomes planned out just for you. When you sit there and ask that question, what is the next step of my evolution? And you're meditating for 20, 30 minutes, and you just allow the thoughts to flow through you, then your next step to your evolution comes through. Not your husband's, not the internet's, not anybody else's, but what is good for you. Matter of fact, I'm so excited to be here today, I can't even tell you. And I was like, what am I going to talk about on August 23rd? So I thought, it's not my talk. Go into meditation. So I went into that meditation. What am I going to talk about? And all of a sudden, it was like, divine discontent. And I was like, well, what's that? Well, I'll figure that out. So, but you don't have to figure it out. You just have to allow the flow to come through you. So when we are expanding and evolving in the essence of who we are, not only do we have to know what is our divine discontent, but we have to know exactly what is the next step to our evolution. Now, the next step is really the most important step. It's the step whether you're going to make it and you're going to break it. This is the action step, what is going to push you forward into divine right action. And today, I'm going to teach you how to get what you want, because I just found out how to get what I want. A month ago, I went to a TED Talk in Washington, D.C., and I saw this girl talk, and her specialty is to teach people how to get what they want. Matter of fact, she had over 3 million hits on her TED Talk. Marvin, when you put it up there. So her name was Mel Robbins. Just mentally take a note or put this in your phone, and it's called How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over. Right. Yeah. And she's really good. So the last 5 minutes of the talk is where I picked up how to get what you want. Thank you. And so what I'm going to do is, she really spoke in layman's terms. I'm going to speak in religious science terms so that you can understand it and so that I can understand it, because I actually put it into action myself. So this is what she said. When we're up until the time that we're 18 years old, we have a parent that is running our life and telling us what to do. So if you're a baby boomer, right, you would have your parents yelling at you and they would say, turn off the TV and go do your homework. Or they would say, go wash the dishes. Or make sure you're inside the house by the time the street lights come on. Now, if you are a baby boomer grandparent or parent, you're probably telling the kids to get off the iPad, the iPhone, the computer, and go do your homework. Or you're telling them to load the dishwasher, or go outside and play like we did when we were kids, right? This is what happens. So we've always had a parent that was kind of telling us what to do and motivating us because we felt like we were a little lazy. Now, in real life, we don't have a parent in our mind when we were 18 years old. So if you have formed a habit in your life, or if you want to form a new habit in your life, and you don't have a parent telling you what to do, it may be a little difficult. Let's say you want to lose weight, right? And this is called the 5-second rule, by the way. You want to lose weight, and you're at a party, and over here is the vegetable tray, and over here is the cupcake tray, right? Now, you have 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anytime between now and right now, to go over to the vegetable tray, because if you wait more than 5 seconds, you are automatically going to talk yourself out of your diet. I'll start tomorrow, and you're going to go over to the cupcake tray. So let's say you're going to work out. I'm seeing a lot of smiles. So let's say you're going to work out. You know what? Tomorrow's my day where I'm going to start working out. I'm really going to get in shape. I'm going to wake up really early in the morning. I'm going to set my alarm clock, and I'm going to get to the gym. So you wake up really in the morning. The alarm clock goes off. You hear it. If you don't move within the first 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anytime between now and right now, your subconscious mind just talked you out to go to the gym. You put the covers over your head. You lay back down, and you said, I'll start tomorrow, right? So this is the 5-second rule. Matter of fact, Steve Dahl told me, he said, you know what? This is how you should think about it. You know when you have a piece of food that drops on the floor like a piece of toast, you have a 5-second rule? If you don't pick it up in 5 seconds, you got to throw it out. This is... This is good. This is like that. It's a 5-second rule. If you don't do it, if you don't start writing that book in 5 seconds, you're not going to do it. If you don't start making plans for that vacation, you're not going to do it. Why? Because your subconscious mind runs your life, 90% of your life, and it does not want you to move forward. Why? Because it's not comfortable. It doesn't feel good. If it doesn't feel good, why should we do it? Okay, so I'm not going to stand up here and preach to you unless I tried it. I tried this. There's something within me that's been stirring up. I have divine discontent within my life for a long time in a certain area. But first of all, I decided to get a parent. When I was a little girl, we lived in a subdivision where all the houses are really super close together, and they were all young mom and dads, and there was lots of kids, and I had lots of friends. Now, the lady across the street, she used to yell and scream at her kids to the top of her lungs, and I could hear her in my house. And we would used to call her the mean mommy. So me and my sisters, and my friends, we'd get together and say, let's play mean mommy. Yeah, I'll yell at you, right? And then when I'm done yelling at you, you can yell at us. We'll take turns, right? So I decide to play mean mommy. Not me, but someone. I decide to hire mean mommy for my mind, okay? So this is the problem. Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm a Diet Coke-aholic. And I am not kidding you. I have been drinking Diet Coke for years and years and years and years. And there's something within me that really wants to stop. Because now that I'm out of my younger body and I'm no longer bulletproof, I'm in my goddess body, I can no longer eat and drink whatever I want and just get away with it. So I want to have a higher consciousness in how I treat my body. And I have been trying to quit Diet Coke for years now. I would start, and then I would stop, and I would start, and then I just quit even trying. And recently I was like, I'll just pray about it. And I think about it for a while. Oh, I don't want to quit Diet Coke. Like, I know, I'll hire a hypnotist. That's the easy way out to get into the subconscious mind. So I hired one. I called one up, and then the day before I called them and said, oh, I can't make it. Why? Because I really didn't want to do it, I was lazy. So when I heard this, I thought, you know what? I am doing the 5-second rule. I got to do this. I'm going to do it. So July 23rd, after I heard her, I was reading someone's blog. I just happened to be reading a blog. I guess that's the divine spirit speaking to me and telling me that they have 365 days of sobriety of Diet Coke. And I thought, I know. I had to name it. I had to claim it. What's the first step, right? I was in denial. I had to admit that I was a Diet Coke addict. So, okay, I'm admitting it right now that I'm a Diet Coke addict. And so on July 23rd, I woke up in the morning, and what do you think happened? There was a picture of a Diet Coke in my mind. And Mean Mommy came out, no, you cannot have that Diet Coke. And I was like, all right, okay. July 24th, I woke up, and there's a picture of the Diet Coke. No! I go, can I just have a sip? I'm not feeling good. No! Okay. July 25th, oh my God, my head is hurting. Can I just have a drink, a half a drink? No, you cannot have that Diet Coke. Okay, Mean Mommy, I won't have it. So this is day 30. Actually, today's August 23rd. I have day 30, but I don't even want to, get The thing is, until I have 365 days, I can't celebrate, because this is what I do. I go to the store, and I see the Diet Coke machine, and it sees me, and I'm like, you're looking good. And it's like, yeah, you're looking good, too. And all of a sudden, I'm drinking, and I'm one with that Diet Coke, okay? So if you want to use or hire out Mean Mommy for your mind, you're allowed to use my Mean Mommy. Just help you out there, okay? The Mean Mommy will get you every single time. So what is it within you that you want to change? Is there a divine discontent? Do you want to go on that vacation of a lifetime? Do it. Anytime between now and right now. Do you want to write that book? Do it. Anytime between right now and right now. So when you have that flow, that energy flow, those messages coming to you to do it, it's for you to do. It's not for anyone else to do except for you, right? Yes, okay. So Ernest Holmes says that a trained mind is so much more powerful than an untrained mind. To learn how to think is to learn how to live. So I know what Ernest Holmes has taught us is that it is God's way. This divine urge that lives within us is God's way, is telling us and pushing us forward to be and to accept that which we demand. And so it is. Thank you, Seaside. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, thank you. And now for our singer, Charles Holt. You're my girl, Rosedale.
Thank you, Reverend Laurie.
Thank you, Charles.
Outstanding. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth, only once the water passes through. Now I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am a little smoother in your hands. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high, but never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when the sunset comes, my prayer will be just one, that you might pick me up and notice I am. I'm just a little smoother in your hands. Rolling river, God, these little stones are smooth. It's only once the water passes through. And when I close my eyes, I feel you rushing by. Then I know that you picked me up and noticed I am. I'm just a little smoother in your
Yeah, Charles Waltz. Beautiful. Yeah. He is so powerful. I was holding his hand in the back there. Oh, this guy is powerful. If you want to take him home with you, you can. He's selling CDs in the back. So this is now time for our conscious giving, and I would like to invite our ushers forward and just thank you for their time and their talents of being here and being at service at Seaside Centers for Spiritual Living, and recognizing that your tithe is a demonstration of you being immersed in the universal laws of life. So I just recommend, I also want to thank those who auto tithe on a regular basis, and I'd like to thank those who send their donations in. And so please take your offering in hand and place it over your heart. And close your eyes as we go in, as I am so grateful for this wonderful spiritual community. Grateful that each person is immersed in this universal flow, knowing that there is an inexhaustible amount of abundance in your lives, and there's doors of opportunities always coming to you with ease and grace. I'm grateful that we support each other, that we are here with like-minded people to express the expression of God as our life, as we continue to grow and expand and evolve in the awareness of God. And I just release this into the law. And so it is. Mwah. Give with love, my friends. There you go. Thank you. On our affirmation, thank you. Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. Thank you. Seaside, please help me bless these offerings and extend your heart through your hands and close your eyes and go within. As I recognize that these offerings were giving from the heart, given from love, knowing that they sustain and maintain and operate our loving spiritual facility, Seaside Centers for Spiritual Loving, knowing that the consciousness and the stewardship of this money goes to evolve and to grow the expansion and the essence of this wonderful spiritual community. And I just release my word into the law, knowing that it is done, and so it is. So this is Valerie Rodriguez, our board secretary. Give her a big hand. And let's love up our band. Yes. All right. I would like to thank Charles Holt. He's so beautiful. Thank you. You can take him home with you. And Rebecca Jade, our most talented musical artist. Yes, make sure you vote for her. Robin Holt, you were beautiful. Thank you so much. She is on a wonderful path. I also want to remind you that this Wednesday I will be speaking here at Seaside, The Science of Being Great. On Friday, we have the Dances of Universal Peace, simple songs and dance, celebrating all paths to God. And next Sunday, we have another Reverend Lori. Reverend Lori Sheets is going to be speaking about the art of surrender. Anything else? I'll be back with you guys in a second. How's that? I have to get a mic. All right. So why don't we pray? This is what we do here at Seaside for Spiritual Living. We pray and we heal and we know the truth about our lives. So I invite you to go within And to close your eyes, I recognize the truth of who you are, of who I am, of who each person is. Each person being that loving expression of God, that spiritual being that's always expanding, always growing, always becoming more of yourself. Knowing that each person is all powerful and all knowing and omnipotent and omniactive. It is the essence of life that's always pushing you forward, onward and upward. And I just ask you to bring someone in your life that you would like to bring to the forefront of your consciousness who may need a healing at this time, and recognizing that being is perfect and they are whole and they are the complete. They are the essence of spirit. They are that divine mind in action. And if anyone in your life that you know that has a need for more finances in their life and more abundance, we're just going to know that they are immersed in that universal supply, that there is opulence and inexhaustible abundance all around them, opportunities coming to them with ease and grace. And I know that if there's any dis-ease or disharmony or discord, that everything is perfect and is whole, is complete, and there is a complete calmness that is around each and every person. So we hold those people up in love. We hold those people up in light. And for the prayer request box, we know that they are in the same consciousness of love. They are in the same consciousness of perfection, already knowing the truth of who they are is the essence of spirit that is expressing in their lives. And what I know today, right here and right now, that whatever that divine discontent is within you, and I know you have that divine discontent that is just yearning and is burning within you to be more of who you are, to do more of who you are, and to have more. And that's natural and it's loving and it is part of your soul's expression in life. That I know that you listen to that divine mind that speaks through you with ease and grace. It is that flow of messages that comes to you and it explains to you to do the exact right next step to your evolution. And as you listen to this step of your evolution, it's not only for you, but it is for the universal good. For you, you are the essence of spirit. You are that essence of wholeness. And I am grateful for this now as I release my word into the law of mind, knowing that it is done, and so it is. I'll talk.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. So no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit.
Let's talk to our youth and family. What did you do today?
We did some cards for the kids in Nepal because of the devastation of the earthquake and of the things that happened to some of the kids and their schools. And
nice.
so we did some cards for them, and we prayed and.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was beautiful. So let's say our affirmation together. My opportunities are unlimited. The divine urge expresses through me now. One more time. My opportunities are unlimited. The divine urge expresses through me now.
I'm living in love. I'm living in peace. I'm living my life for what I believe. Through joys and through fears, in this world I walk. God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United we stand as one family. We honor all truth as together we walk. God's grace moves through me, and it moves through us all. We are living in grace. 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 Have a wonderful Sunday and rest of the week, Seaside.